Extreme, defined as the outermost, endmost, or very far advanced in any direction. That's the definition. This is the show. Extreme sports coming up. Now, why leap out of a perfectly good plane? For the buzz! And we see how it's done head first. More action on the big waves. Let's cut sick, baby. Two wheels, high-performance lightweight cycles, and a narrow, slippery track down. Come ride with me. And we continue our ascent of Everest. This episode sees us on the lethal icefall. It's Frangipani time. We're kicking back down under in a legendary South Pacific surf spot. Skydiving, the sensation-seeking sport of abandoning a plane at the highest possible point to leap with a silk hanky earthward. Yeah, we know how it goes. Out of the plane, arms out, and tummy first falling. I don't think so. The belly earth to position has a new bent. We're at headquarters to a group of world-leading skydivers in Taupo, New Zealand. This is one of the first crews to have nailed formation vertical freefalls. It's a simple process. The turboprop 700 aircraft is going to take us 12,500 feet up in just 10 minutes. Conventional craft take 30. This plane is equipped with big steps and side rails, so the divers can climb out all over the plane and jump together. That's 12,500 feet of airspace. This is free falling at 200 miles per hour. Timing in flight is everything. We know vertical control is lessened, and controlling your movement is essential. On one hand, for freedom and the exhilaration of the skydive, and on the other, just for survival. Bumping into someone can be lethal. The fact is, human biomechanics are not built for 200-mile-an-hour movement. There is no second chance. Trust is built up over time, and using confidence and skill-building props like this yellow ball, it's weighted to free fall at the same speed, helping enhance the diver's performance. And no, the ball doesn't bounce off your car roof below. At a certain altitude, the ball keeper pockets the ball, ready to pull their chute. We're now at 2,000 feet. We've fallen already 10,000 feet and only a few seconds to Earth at free fall speed. So this is called cutoff time. Now, how to maximize the slower descent under your chute? I thought they might have a plan, and they do. Free flying at 200 miles per hour, head first at Mother Earth. Oh, we love it, and you'll see more. I just hope these guys get to as well. You're looking at some of the cleanest air in the world. Raglan, New Zealand, home to the South Pacific surfer. Ocean swells that have travelled 2,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean before breaking on this rocky coastal point. Raglan's a long ride, curling around the point that presents challenges beyond the power of a monster big wave. Now let's begin at the beginning, getting out there. Look at your beach before you get out there, because get your lines wrong and it's going to be a painful rejection of a mistimed entry. Last time we surfed together, it was tubing on the big stuff. Here, we've pulled together a package of pros working it, baby. Surfing does not, okay, listen to this, does not rely on big waves. The skilled surfer can ride whatever the conditions. And the truth is, even the best breaks have small days. So how do you ride them? Riding small surf is all about body position and timing. Make a note of every rider's foot position. The more speed he's trying to build, the larger the gap between his feet, and the greater the pump he'll be exerting on the board, front foot to back and back to front. Now here's the catch. Pump your feet too much and you're going to bury the nose of your board or dig a rail into the wave, and it's the end of the ride. Screeching halt over the handlebars, and it's time to paddle back home to try again. And once your speed is up, it's time to cut some tight, slick turns. Again, pace and light-footed control is everything in small surf. Here's a good one. Check out this guy. He's having a great ride, keeping the turns coming on the smallest of waves. Oh, what a ride! He's making it look easy, and this surfer is the only one that we captured on film riding it consistently all day. How do you surf small stuff? I couldn't do it better myself. Believe me, I couldn't. His hard work is where the skill lies. We're about to follow 4 mountain bikers down and down and down a slippery dirt trail. The margin of error and the reaction time is slight, as we'll soon see. These guys don't muck around when it comes to speed and maximizing their ability to ride on the edge of disaster.
All right. Right, bud.
It's high speed and always high impact. Woohoo! Lucky for this slide off the track, they've got some ferns to crash into. Time out for some fern gazing and a hard time from his mates. Then we're back into it, downhill at 50 kilometers an hour. Oh, wow, what'd I just say? Back into it, blackout. The downside of having a good time. Yeah, we know the feeling. Major hangover. The head's spinning. Oh, do the ribs still work? Now let me push the brain back together. Helmet back on, and we're off again.
Comes to about halfway down Rainbow Mountain.
Oh no! Not again! This is a slippery track, and wipeouts are part of the deal. Let's creep in for a closer look. This guy looks like he's dead. No, he's still moving, just playing possum. The bike looks more twisted than the rider. Some quick, basic repairs. Hey! We're off again! Let's get some more punishment! But fortunately, we're at the end of the trail and just in time before any more serious head harassment happens. These guys are hot and they know it. We'll be seeing more of them. Mount Everest. We're at 5,500 meters. That's over 15,000 feet. And we're going on a journey over the most dangerous section of the climb up Everest. This is the Khumbu Icefall, the wall of moving ice. It's the most likely place for accident and death. The danger's twofold, from the maze of often obscured crevasses that climbers can fall into, and from blocks of ice weighing several tons that can crash down on them unpredictably at any moment. More people die on this section of the climb than anywhere else up the mountain. The day before the climb begins, climbers and Sherpas alike perform the Puya ceremony to appease the gods of the mountains that live at the tops of the mountain the climbers are intending to climb. Prayers are offered and ancient Buddhist practices observed to receive the gods' blessing. In the background, the Khumbu Icefall's ominous presence dominates proceedings. The flags are Buddhist prayer flags, with prayers written on each flag. When the flag flutters in the wind, they send the prayers into the heavens to the gods of the mountain peaks. The climbers gather around, hoping for strength and calmness of mind from the Buddhist ceremony, their thoughts never far from the dangerous climb they face in the morning. For some, an added release of tension, that last taste of the good stuff before facing the wall of moving ice. Tomorrow's challenge. An early pre-dawn start is required to get through the icefall before the sun reaches it and starts melting the ice. The last supper before the climb begins. The last supper. Sorry guys, bad choice of words.
Wow.
The first sliver of light hits the peaks, normally a welcoming sign of warmth. But on this perilous 8-hour journey through the maze of jumbled ice, it's just another sign of danger. A race with the sun on the dancing ice of death. The sun continues to creep down into the valley. A fall into the crevasse below would require a 2-minute rescue in order to live. But at this altitude, reaction time from fellow climbers would take much longer, and hypothermia and certain death would follow. Planning to survive is everything. The crevasses are formed from the continual movement of the ice flow. Many are 20 or 30 metres deep and more. Movement of the ice high on the valley walls begins its daily movement, not even waiting for the melting rays of the sun. The climb has been difficult and slow, and while the advantage of good weather is on the side of the climbers, the hot sun is not what they want to see as they struggle to make their way through the maze of ice and crevasses. But the sun hits the glacier with the climbers still on it. To return, unable to continue, exhausted from the thin air and the lack of oxygen. The Buddhist prayer flags take on new meaning as the rest of the party continues their upward journey over the final stages of the glacier to beat the Himalayan sun and any glacier movement. No matter how hard they encourage each step to speed up, their lack of oxygen supply causes them to hit a barrier, and every step takes an excruciating effort. Finally, base camp at 6,500 metres, a flat, safe haven from moving ice or avalanche. A deserved moment of sheer joy. we will come back to this hardy group of adventurers in a later episode. Hey, it's the big stuff. What have we got? We've got a big fat offshore with 15 foot and tubing. Here's some world-rated surfers pulling the moves and a nice little bit of etiquette atop the wave. My wave, your wave, after you, sir. A surf on this size is taken primarily on rails. The only way to control your descent and grab a ride on a steep wall like this is to lean your weight and the board back into the wave to desperately grab some resistance. Falling down the wave, it's all about back brakes. Every surfer controls their pace by leaning their weight onto the back of the board, then moving out to pull some turns, and they get their ride down, plan that ride, and hopefully look to take an exit. The whole way, it's all rails. Get your rail in, lean to the wave, the angle the board's in decides the line you take and the pace you're moving at. There's lovely evidence here. Ride after ride, we can trace the surfer's progress and the depth of their railing in the slipstream on the wave's face. When it's all back of the board, you can see the plume behind them in the wave. When it's rails, it's a clean-cut line moving across the face. Offshore in action. The water's breaking into an offshore wind. See the way the spray's whipped up, the foam's heading backwards, way back out to the waiting surfers, while the wave crashes forward onto the beach. This is the force of the offshore, carrying the spray and holding up the wave so it tubes beautifully for these boys to cut sick. The amount of spray heading off here shows just how much help the waves are getting and how much time the surfers have got to pick their line by the wall of water being held up, ending in a nice big tube. So you're through the tube, a bit of celebration, and out the other side. That one's huge, mate. Wouldn't go there. Nice decision. Gonna, no. That's it for another episode of High Action Sport, Extreme Sport. We're out of here, but first of all, come for a little peek at the next episode. There's gonna be action, there's gonna be movement, pace, speed, some impact. There's gonna be a little bit of skill that you haven't seen anywhere but on the edge. It's Extreme Action Sport. We'll be here in the next episode. You got all of this to look forward to, and me, I'm looking forward to seeing you.